Hey everybody, this is Way to Fail, and today we are going to be hoping to do something good on the ladder here today. Let me make sure I have everything set up just fine. Yeah, it looks like things are going okay. Today we're going to be playing on the ladder here. I've been playing some Handlock and I've been playing some Taunt Druid. So far I've been doing fairly good with Handlock, at least lately. But of course today's a new day, patch day. Not patch day, what am I saying here? New adventure mode means new cards, and that means that Lotheb's going into my Handlock deck. How's it going to work out? I don't know. So far in a few tests that I've played, I was at 4 stars at rank 5 because I had gotten 7 straight wins. Of course, you stop getting win streak stars up here, but yeah, things have kind of changed just a little bit. And now I've been seeing some decks that I haven't seen here. So Lotheb, which is the card that I really have just kind of in my deck, that's kind of the big change here. Pretty important for reasons you probably know, but if you haven't been paying attention, it's a 5/5/5 that makes spells cost 5 more for the remainder of the turn, or for your opponent's next turn, or something along those lines. I have not actually tested it, so what better place to test it on the ladder versus another Warlock. So we'll see how this goes here. So Lotheb in my opening hand, probably don't want to keep it because I'm a Handlock, and I want to go for good old giants, good old faceless manipulators. I did cut out, and this is a terrible, terrible start here. I did cut one card. I did cut one Ironbeak Owl, and that may be terrible in the end here, but we'll find out, because right now I do have one owl. If this is Zoo, I can Ancient Watcher Ironbeak, but right now this is a pretty rough start. So we'll see how that goes. Is he going to play something right now is one of the questions here. Yep. So it's Zoo, and I did get a Hellfire. So because I got a Hellfire, I should be able to get some value out of it. So I am not actually going to go for the Ancient Watcher play. Although I have 2 Ancient Watchers, which is pretty nice. I can Ancient Watcher Shadow Flame, so I do have a lot of AoE. Yeah, Zoo could be a little bit dicey because there's some pretty decent Zoo cards that came out too. Oh boy, 2 of these is not a great start. But once again, the test versus okay, this is starting to become a nightmarish start kind of here. Question now is, do I tap for board control or do I put out an Ancient Watcher and see what I can do? I don't really want to put it out before I Hellfire. So we'll tap one more time. Mortal Coil is really good. Almost cut a Mortal Coil, kind of glad I didn't. And Twilight Drake for next turn, perhaps. Probably going to be a Hellfire next turn. Probably. So Harvest Golem does survive the Hellfire pretty well. It's 2.5 for 1, and it stops the bleeding a little bit. So that could be a decent... I don't have a coin, but next turn can be, because I do have to stabilize my board a little bit. Let's do the Hellfire first. That drops me down to 12, which I don't like. I'm going to be, and it's going to put me down to 10 here in just a minute, so I could have already been getting my face beaten a little too hard. Alright, so down to 8 life versus that. A lot of things kill me now. And this is kind of the aggressive Zoo that I don't particularly like facing. But let's see here. I'm going to need to... that's what I need to do. Because right now I don't really have any direct damage to speak of. But I can taunt here. And I can Watcher Shadow Flame next turn. So if he can silence this and kill me, you know what, there's not a lot I can do. Sometimes you just lose versus Zoo. And maybe I should have gotten an earlier board presence once I saw it was Zoo. Because they do want to control the board. There's a good Argus play. So more damage. And there we go. I am a Soulfire away from death. Is this it? There we go. Well played. You know what, you can't even be mad about that. I'm sure there's some things I could have done better, like not eating so much damage early, but you know what? Slow developing deck. I could be dropping back down to 6 stars before we know it here. Or rank 6 real fast. So that'd be a little annoying. That's actually the first Zoo deck I have faced in about 20 matches. As odd as that sounds. And usually you want to try and get as much taunts as you can early. And I just didn't there. So we'll see. Maybe I can make this work out pretty well. Okay, versus Mage now, and I just want to make sure here, because my stream update's saying that I'm actually offline, and that's not the case at all. I'm supposed to be online. Okay, so let's hope for a better draw. I got a pretty nasty draw that last time. We'll call that the reason for a loss here. And, oh, this is so painful. This is a terrible opening versus mage. I may have to go back just to taunt Druid just to see if I can make that work out. So, yeah, pretty bad. We're actually going to coin tap. Just start digging through that deck just a little bit here. Now, if this is an aggro mage, I could be in a shit ton of trouble. If it's a freeze mage, I still may not be too bad. Yeah, you coin tap when you have garbage to play. So there's a mountain giant. We'll be able to get that out in time. Just got to double check my card count here. Okay, so this is Secret Mage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I get 2 Molten Giants right here. Secrets are free. This is maybe Duplicate, probably Vaporize. And I do kind of want to play something this turn. Unfortunately, I cannot take them out. That is a 4-3 for 3. You forget about that sometimes. So we are going to have to check for Vaporize before too long, unfortunately. Oh, this could get out of hand in a hurry. And he's not going for board control. So the question now is, I think this is a pretty easy Hellfire play. Because it's just one card. I'll be able to Mountain Giant next turn. It gets me some board control. It doesn't let me test what that is, but it gets the Arcanist out of the way. So it's here, duplicate. What gets duplicated in that scenario? I have no idea what gets duplicated in that scenario. But I guess we're going to find out. What fun to be had with new cards here. So, any more secrets? Yes, we do. Is it another duplicate? That's a good question. Alright, so it is the turn to start gianting up. So we'll just play this. Not a lot to do with Mortal Coil or anything, so not really liking the position. I feel like, compared to when I was doing really good with Handlock a few days ago, or like the day ago, I guess, my decision-making's kind of going downhill just a little bit. So I may need to go back to my more familiar Taunt Druid.
We have many secrets.
Alright. How many more secrets do you have? And Arcane Intellect as well. Now I have no taunt makers, which is going to be a problem. There we go. So what do we do here? I'm pretty sure Vaporize is just if you attack the face. So let's go ahead and go for some board control. There's one. It's not duplicate. Now we have to figure out all these additional tests. Do I Sylvanas here? Probably not. Probably better just to... well, this is very flame strikeable next turn. So let's do this.
I have no time for games.
And is it a counterspell? There's one. Okay, so he's just going whole ham on the secrets here. Okay. It's kind of like the challenge mode deck that I was playing. Would rather get the Soulfire out through this guy, but now he can kill one of these giants. Still could go for 2 for 1, perhaps. We'll see. Would have kind of preferred a Mortal Coil there, but whatever.
What to do? What to do?
Said Lothar would be hilarious here. If I could get it. See, Secret Mage is going to be really interesting once the Mad Scientist comes out in a few. But is this just going to be Flame Strike right here? He's going to Flame Strike, get rid of Sylvanas. Maybe. Just go ahead and take care of that now. Yeah, there's better plays I could have made. Oh well.
I'll never tell.
And Frostbolt. Okay, that's decent. Question is, what do I want to do here? I can go 1, 2, 3, and then taunt up. Would rather have something to do with the Ancient Watcher, so let's go ahead and at least take this out. I'll be able to cycle none. Really? That is really, really annoying. Okay. Well, that's what Secret Mages are, just different. I guess we'll go like this. So it's not like I have any other choice now. Was really hoping to cycle one of the Mortal Coils, but what can you do? So I still have some hope in here. Ugh. It's so funny how the meta changes over time. So this is a 2/3. You got 5 mana. You definitely got stuff that you definitely have plays that you can make. Question is, what can I do? Because I'm playing a fairly traditional Handlock, but because I'm not getting my new special card, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, if I go on a bit of a losing streak with this, I may just go with Druid, but it's going to be a little different here. I'm hoping to maybe go to 4. Oh, shit. Seriously? Okay. So just all the trades and a 5/5. Alright. Now I can clear the board. I have no idea what this is. But what are my plays right now? I can develop a giant and hope that's not mirrored entity. I can power overwhelming and probably kill that. I just don't want to get vaporized is the thing. Unfortunately, there's not too much I can do to really prevent that, so let's tap once. Faceless. I've had better plays for Faceless. Maybe I should be saving that for a Faceless Leroy. Alright, let's go ahead and drop another giant. That is the bigger threat at this point. Let's go ahead and see. Is that counterspell again? Okay. Not the end of the world. We'll just do it like this. You only have so many secrets, buddy. Just gotta hope now that I don't get bursted down with actual direct damage. Because I've run into a few secret mages more recently. There's Loatheb. Hello, you. And a water elemental, so that's fun. Good thing I don't actually have any spells to cast this time. 2 facelesses. Well, this seems like a fairly obvious play, at least. We're just gonna copy pasta. Copy. And let's just go whole hog. I'm getting ready to end this. And there's mirror image as well. That's fun. Question now is he actually going to attack me? Sun Fury Protector is pretty good. Let's go ahead and make another. It's probably best practice to make another copy of this. I don't really want to get my health too much lower, so. Alright. I can go ahead and develop the other giant as well, so. We are strictly testing for Vaporize. There we go. No, something about 3 Molten Giants and another one in hand can be quite a problem, so. Yeah. There we go. Not letting him get vaporized. I got a star! I broke a losing streak. Hooray. I don't think I have anyone watching this yet, but that's okay. That's here. Just updating the credentials for the stream. We'll see here. Just play a little bit. Don't know if I'm going to get anybody really to watch or pay attention. This will go up on YouTube as well when it's done, for those of you who may be looking out for that. So let me just go ahead and actually let it be known about this as well. Okay. We'll get that after this game. So we'll call us a few warm-up games, pre-recording. Excellent, amazing opening hand here. I don't know if this is a Miracle Rogue. It's probably a more aggressive rogue, so we're going to actually get rid of these. I have a feeling it's Cancer, and if it's Cancer, the Taunt Maker is going to be really nice. Coin Twilight Drake may be the right play, and we may have to sit on the Mountain Giant for a while, depending. Iron Beak Owl anyway, that's not terrible. So we'll see. If it's Miracle,
Pleasure is mine.
I'm going to be really surprised, because Miracle's supposed to die with Lothep coming out. It's not Miracle, so we're talking Cancer or mid-range. Hellfire is going to be good in either of those matchups. So Leroy, not the best card early on, but whatever. You make it work. So is he going to try and get me to lose a card? Maybe. Okay, losing a Faceless kind of sucks, but there we go. Just want me to actually bleed cards. In that case... So yeah, the stronger play is the Mountain Giant. But I'm probably going to lose cards regardless, because he's probably going to Cold Light again. But I already have one Taunt Maker. So that'll have to do. I mean, I love the Mountain Giant into Faceless play. If I can make it happen. Is this going to be a sap? Yeah, so that's a dead Mountain Giant. Well, no, I have 9 cards in my hand, so it's just going to go back to my hand. A little bit of a tempo loss there, but what can you do? Losing another Taunt Maker is starting to hurt, so let's see here. Do I Hellfire this? No, let's just go ahead and see if he has a second sap. Might as well get that up ahead of time. So it's just a little bit painful to get so many cards gifted to you early, especially because it's trying to dig through their hand as well. If you have a second sap, I'm just going to be a little annoyed, but I mean, what can you do, really? I mean, you just got to get the cards out to make it work. Okay. That's interesting. So what's the follow-up here? Haunted Creeper. Okay. And that was pretty fortunate for him to get that hit, so... Problem with Haunted Creeper is Hellfiring actually makes it a little bit more dangerous for me, so... What do I want to do here? I bled some cards that were really valuable, which sucks, but... I mean, at this point, you just try and play kind of the best you can. Usually I do really well against Cancer Rogue, but he was able to Cold Light me and kind of get me with my pants down a little bit. So let's see here. What do we got? Are you just going to try and take this out all at once? Jesus. Well, you know what? Sometimes you get the draws and sometimes you don't. I'm going to have to Hellfire this turn. Is he just going for face entirely? I think so. And there may not be anything I can do to stop it. That sucks. Alright. Well, Lotheb the turn too late. That's okay. Because if he has Leroy or something, there's not too much I can do regardless. So let's go ahead and make this a thing. Hellfiring is going to hit me down. Yeah, I just died. That's what I get for not paying attention, having alt tabbed here. So let's... Yeah, that was not well played on my part. Alright, so... Alright, so let's go ahead and buckle down. And let's see if I can actually stay above rank 5. So what have I faced so far and how's my deck been doing? I've been facing some pretty fast decks. Cancer got me really, really good there, because I couldn't actually make a bunch of taunts to stop what happened there. So I'm actually 1-4 today with this deck, including what happened off camera. So, we'll see. Sometimes you get in sort of bad ruts like this, but maybe this deck isn't as good It had been a few days ago. We'll see. If I drop another star, I'm going to have to go back to Druid. Good opener. No coin. Just do this. Power Overwhelming, not a great card. So let's see, I beat a secret mage and lost to otherwise standard decks. Soulfire's nice. Don't like losing the Power Overwhelming for Soulfire, but see how it goes, right? Alright, so we got another zoo player here. This is really interesting to me. Just kind of the dynamic of new cards come out, what do people do? Especially since I have been playing ranked for a while this week, and this is the first day I've been seeing zoo since a few days ago. So we'll see how it goes. There's things I'd love to do right now. Don't really want to make this too much weaker, but don't want to get too far behind here. But I have some decent plays after this. Yeah, we'll tap one more time. Hellfire could be good. I can deal with a 4/4 better than whatever else he might spam on the board. Yeah. Maybe I'm just not the best Handlock player. Who knows? Also entirely possible. Alright, so I know what's happening this turn. So, sorry, Twilight Drake, you're not going to be very happy with me. Hellfire. Soulfire. I'm very happy with losing Power Overwhelming. Can possibly play a Molten Giant next turn. Alright. Okay, that's about as good as you can hope for right here. So we're gonna taunt up the Watcher. Whew. Feeling a little okay. Of course, he could have a Doom Guard right here. Could have a lot of things, but this guy's at least gonna die. And that's more damage to him, so whatever. 2 Molten Giants. I could tap into that in a little bit. Probably better to go for the trade here than going for the face. I'm trying to play the long game here, and I don't want to be able to pop the shield and then do something else. There we go. So, waiting for your Doom Guards, waiting for your everything else. Waiting for a Blood Knight, to be honest here. Nope, Haunted Creeper. Alright, so some interesting choices to be had here. Not any great Mortal Coil plays. Can develop a Giant. Don't really want to get my life total too much lower. Facelessing the Sunwalker is an option. Let's see here. I feel like tapping once is okay. There we go. So that way we can do this, and then make our life total a little bit happier. Let's go ahead and use the Divine Shield in case there is a Blood Knight waiting. Don't want it to get too big. I'd rather make that trade than him make that trade and get something with the Direwolf here, so. Alright. This means I can Mortal Coil next turn, which is good. There's just a lot of crap on the board right now. Okay. How do I want to do this? Well, I'm going to want to make 2 taunts. But I'm 1 mana short of making a lot of plays that I'd like to make. And there's just so much crap out there right now. Because if he goes all in with this as it currently stands, he can do quite a bit of damage. So, Mountain Giant. Not awesome, not awful. I guess I could silence that and just go after the other things. Decent use of mana. Would love to faceless this in another turn. Let's take out. There's probably not a better play than this. So that's the less valuable taunt. And let's just go ahead and go for face. Need to put that pressure. Okay, so one Doom Guard. Oh damn, that's crappy right there, losing both Doom Guards on the river, you could say. But you know what that means? I am in a commanding position. It's a good thing I just attacked there. So 6 damage, that means he can't win. Woo, beat a zoo. There we go. Counts for something, right? So let's see here. If I can just string a few things together, make some good decisions. That's really where I'm finding rank 5, rank 4, rank 3. It doesn't come down to cards. It doesn't even come down to who makes the better draws usually. It just, there is obviously some luck involved, but it's more I'm finding just about I've got to buckle down to make better game choices. Okay. This is probably a control Kalinto style Paladin. Good opening hand. Shadow Flame Leroy is actually a really great board clear. And I'm debating keeping Shadow Flame, but I'm not going to because it's a little slow. And I want a Hellfire here. So I'm going to wait for him to finish mulliganing. Because I always do that as Warlock. I'm just hoping they mulligan for Zoo, especially since Zoo's more of a thing today. This is beautiful. If I can somehow develop the board to get 2 Mountain Giants out safely, that'll be great. Probably not going to happen. We can dare to dream. Alright. Well, at least I'm getting all my key cards early. And Shadow Flame is still a possibility. It's probably Knife Juggler. No, Haunted Creeper. Okay. So Soulfire's not bad there. Siphon Soul, pretty good for when they drop some things later on. I just don't want to get too far behind. Usually against Paladins, the problem is that they get so much damage on me early. Alright, so is this going to be follow the rules, or is this going to be something else? I guess the first question is, should I Twilight Drake? I have so many options here, but the possibility of facelessing the Mountain Giant, a little too good to ignore. Once again, question is he just going to keep going for the face or not? And I do have the 6 removal Shadow Flame Watcher. So there we go. This is going to be our dude killer for today. Go ahead and try and get that out early. Is this Kings? Oh no. Okay, so that's interesting. I have not seen people bouncing back cards like that lately. Very, very fascinating. Alright, well, if something is going to get hit like that, it might as well just go ahead and get that out of the way now. Interesting play. You do not see Youthful Brewmaster played really at all. It slows you down a little bit, but and it takes a 3-3 off the board and replaces it with a 3-2. But he's just going to go back and say, Blessing of Wisdom, whenever this card attacks, draw a card. Interesting. Now, do I just want to give him a bunch of card draw, or do I just want to make this some kind of taunt? Well, I don't have any of my taunt givers just yet. I can actually Shadow Flame and clear his board just a little bit. That may not be terrible. So if I silence this, I feel like there's better silence targets in this deck, but this is going to be a little bit of a risky play, but that's okay, because I don't really expect to get Legendary anywhere near it, but just trying to see what I can do to make some good, interesting plays. I do have 2 Soulfires, which is good. I do have Sunwalker, which is still a nice faceless target. And right now I've screwed with him just a little bit, so this is going to be a Siphon Soul. Oh, Lotheb, you are coming at just the right time. I did damage! He's just going to heal it back because it's a Paladin, but... The question is if he's going to start doing the lay on hands and all that stuff, am I just going to tap myself to death? And the Ruby and Egg, so there could have been some better silence targets there, but we'll see. Now, what's a good play here? If I drop Lotheb now, it's not really going to stop too much. And he still does have the Aldor Peacekeeper in his hand. And I'd really like to get that out of here.
So many possibilities.
So let's start like this. Let's tap first. If we're going to play, if we're going to develop the taunt, might as well tap. Because next turn is a good lay on hands turn. You know what? Let's try it. I haven't had a chance to play Lotheb yet. Let's go. Let's make it a thing. What do we get out of it? I don't know. He's gonna kill my owl. My owl!
I have no time for games.
Alright. Could just run that into that. So let's see here. Interesting. How does this work again? If I faceless this and kill this... Yeah, it's not really... That's not going to work too well.
So many possibilities.
Alright. I guess the play of the day is just going to be... getting rid of that. She's not going to be able to take anything. And then... faceless this. Can't go too wrong with 2 4/9s. Unless I get equality'd. Which is entirely possible. I'm leaving myself a little open to Divine Favor just because of the cards that I have in my hand. So it's going to be a quality... yeah. So there's both of my Twilight Drakes gone. Which is a little annoying. I'm probably going to Soulfire away. Okay, I'm probably going to Soulfire away one of my Mountain Giants. Power Overwhelming, not bad. Let's go ahead and play the Sunwalker that we want to play. Yep. Who called it? Mountain Giant anyway. Okay. Yeah, if you want to hold on to a Mountain Giant, don't discard anything because it's inevitably going to be the one to go. That means I have one of each kind of giant left. So lay on hands. It's just going to be a card draw tempo loss for him here. So Little Haunted Creeper again. I'll just let him have his fun for now. So here, I guess we tap first. Okay, Sylvanas isn't bad, but we'll save it. And maybe I can find a good Taunt Maker or something. I only have one owl, so I'm not going to be able to silence all of these. And maybe I should have faceless the giant. There we go. Alright, so there's his Lotheb back. And another Nerubian Egg. Alright, so spells are off the table this turn, which is okay. I still can heal this and make it mostly good. Probably a decent turn to play Sylvanas. Faceless Manipulator would be nice on that just to get the additional taunt.
I have no time for games.
Ugh. Not my favorite play ever, but what can you do? Because I am just exposing myself for some kind of terrible equality play. Or consecrate or something. Did I just miss? Yeah, I just misread. Oh, 5-4. Yeah, that's what that was a damn terrible mistake. Alright, well. Can't play that this turn. So we'll just play this here. Alright, so misplays. I'm rank 5, and I can't read that a creature's 5-5 when I attack into it. I thought, oh, he'll live. No. Yeah, so far with Sylvanas, pretty much the only thing I've gotten are some of these spectral spiders.
Let me think.
We'll see. Hello, those of you who are viewing, watching. I'm Way to Fail. And I'm kind of not doing too great on the ladder so far today. I mean, it's I've run into some interesting decks. I'm seeing a lot of... I've ran into Zoo for the first time in a few days on the ladder, and I've... There we go. So, Equality Consecrates. Pretty much this is just gonna wreck me in a second here. Okay, so he's gonna take out Sylvanas. If I get the egg, I'll be pretty happy. I got the egg. So I can... That's a good Mortal Coil target. I was probably hoping that wouldn't happen. Still, he's got pretty wicked board control, and I've lost most of my giants already, so... Yeah, that's a little late. Alright, well, let's get you at least. Get a card. I guess I could have used Power Overwhelming or something to attack as well, but I feel like I'm going to need that Power Overwhelming for something else a little better. Ugh, tap. Is Hellfire good here? Hellfire's not awful here. It does take down some things. I don't, unfortunately, I only have one Molten Giant left, and it drops this guy down to 1 health. But I can still play an Earthen Ring Farseer and get it back, so let's do that. And do I really want to Soulfire one of those? Not really. That feels terrible, but that just means they run into this and kill it. What am I going to lose? The Siphon Soul? No, the Power Overwhelming. Okay. That's such a... That's where you know you're not doing so great in a game, is if you're having to make plays like that. That make you feel dirty. And I'm at 5 cards. And there's Sledge Belcher, card I really like. Alright. Well, the good news is that I'm going to be able to Siphon Soul it. The bad news is that the bottom of my deck is fast approaching. And I don't know if I have enough damage in my deck left to actually make this happen. Because it's just kind of like, it's funny, against Paladins you can really overextend your board sometimes. They leave you pretty open to that. At least that's a decent faceless target. There's a second Hellfire, so... How do we want to do this? Unfortunately, that means the Tyrion that's inevitably in his deck is not going to get touched. So we'll dig both of these. Just trying to do some more damage here while I can. Probably Guardian of Kings or something next turn. Let's see here. I've lost my Soulfires. Nope, there's Tyrion. Okay. This is where having the 1 silence is probably not helping this deck very much. Alright, so... I've got to dig. I have 2 cards left. And how do we want to make this happen? What does doing this save me? It doesn't really save me anything. And maybe I should have preserved the Molten Giant, but... Okay, now I've run into this situation before. Should I attack my taunt into Tyrion? I probably should. Of course, he's going to be able to heal it up more than likely, so yeah. Not fantastico. Probably going to switch decks after this, just because this deck is not feeling super effective. True Silver Champion. Okay, surprised I haven't seen any of those yet. I am starting to hit fatigue. That is not good. And Holy Light on the Tyrion. And does he have a humility or something for this? Oh, hi, Leroy. Can you win me the game? I don't think you can. Maybe you can. I can life tap myself to death. That'd be cute. Well, anyway, Tyrion's got to die. And I don't have a choice but to attack into this. And does Leroying here kill me? That's 5, 6. If he has Avenging Wrath, that's going to be an issue. I guess I Leroy. I mean, what other cards am I really going to use here? Regardless, did I miss lethal? Thank you, yeah. I'm sure I did. Yeah, oh god. You're totally right. If I just Leroyed into Tyrion and attacked with that, thank you, Katrin, for, okay. Yeah, that's just awful. I really did, really did miss it, so. That's good. And right there we go. I cannot win. Leroy into the 6/6. Yep. No, it's okay. This is why, like what I was saying before, just the decision making on my part. Really got to tighten it up. Yeah, that's just so bad. So bad. But I do appreciate the feedback, because it's like, oh boy, if I just slow down and actually take a look. I'll give this another chance here. Like I said, if I drop down to a 1-star 5, for some reason, I don't want to say I've gone tilt or anything, because I don't think that's it. I just didn't think that through terribly well. Ugh. And that's a nice thing about playing in stream, is that you can usually get instant feedback of like, look, you idiot. You should have done that. Alright, Priest. 2 Mountain Giants in the opening hand, so he'll have 2 Shadow Word Deaths. That's usually how it goes. Let's see if we can get something better than this. Ugh. Alright, Shadow Flame. Not really the card I wanted, but... not the card we need, but the card we deserve. And hey, I got an Earthen Ring Farce here anyway. Alright, so I do have the very nice Mountain Giant into Faceless, if I can make the Mountain Giant stick. But like I said, chances are, at least by rank 5, where you stop seeing Zoo as much, get some other issues here. So Hellfire, so he has a slow start. So we're going to go Mountain Giant, Faceless, see if we can possibly taunt. The Hellfire is probably not going to be super useful. So it's going to be Circle of Healing, because they always have... oh, wow, no Circle of Healing. Okay, well, Giant anyway. I mean, there's some answers to be had if he has Soul Priest Circle and runs into that. Or he just deaths it, but he probably would have deathed it by now if he had it. But yeah, I feel you on kind of just... when you watch someone play, it's a lot easier to see some of the plays that you could make. There we go. Is this actually going to be what I was just talking about with the circle? There we go. Alright, so some of that premium removal cut out early. The question is, do I Loatheb here and then try and Mountain Giant Sun Fury next turn? The problem with that is that... well, let's hear. He has coin and he hasn't used it, so he can coin Soulfire. This will stop that. So he's got to play something else on the board now. So just run into it and kill it. There we go. And kind of a dead turn for him. That's what you really want versus Priest if you can get it. This probably means my Sun Fury is going to get Cabal, but if he plays a Cabal, I'm just going to Faceless this and start going for the face. Okay, so Pyromancer, does he have a clear here? No, maybe. Maybe. Interesting. Can you do it? Wow. Okay. Did he really just clear my giant with every single card he has? Yeah, this is the problem that I tend to have with Priest, is that they just get answers. Answers, answers, answers. But that's okay. Because he had to spend a ton of cards to make that play. So I'll just go ahead and take that guy out. Hellfire's not really what I wanted to see, but we'll get a token board presence on here. So yeah, no big game hunter. Of course, none of my Twilight Drake Priest Eaters are here. And now let's see if he's thought stole all of my goodies. Okay, second Molten Giant. Not quite what I wanted to see again, but I guess that means we can start tapping to Kingdom Come here. So double Faceless, not bad. Might as well set this up. He can death that as much as he wants. Unfortunately, my hand is practically unplayable unless he plays something big. I think that's good. Even better. My hand is now not unplayable. Alright. And I guess tap anyway. I probably should have tapped first. Best practice is to look, go over your entire move, and then decide what you want to do. I knew I was going to Faceless, I knew I was going to Iron Beak, and I knew I had 9 mana. I should have tapped first to see if there's anything else that came in. But, as is, he can possibly heal that. The question is, what is he going to heal it with?
Is someone injured?
Okay, so there's Northstar Cleric value. Double. Oh no, he's actually healing his face. Interesting. Alright, I normally really don't like hellfiring 2 of my minions away. But it's such a good 1 card for... It'll be 2 of my cards to clear 4 of his. It kills this too, unfortunately. So it's not the greatest trade I've ever seen in my life. But the alternative is to let this guy keep going, and I can start doing some early pressure instead, so... So I want to save the Siphon Soul for something like a Rag. Sun Fury's not awful. Alright. That leaves me open for Holy Nova on this. And I probably should have played the Sun Fury Protector. Oh, I should have healed is what I should have done. There we go. Maybe I am starting to get careless. So let's see, here's this Holy Nova time. Holy Fire. Well, at least that means the Earthen Ring Farseer wouldn't have done anything anyway. And he's going to be getting some of his face back, so that's good. No reason not to tap here. 2 Soul Fires, alright. Okay. So, kiddos, it's giant time. Which means he probably has his deaths by now. It's very likely that he has them versus not. So there's, okay, mind control. The other option. Unfortunately, I can't make the 11 mana play of Siphon Soul. Blah, blah, blah. What I can do is double Soulfire. So we'll do that. Alright, might as well tap just to make sure I don't lose some key cards here. Sunwalker, I don't really mind if it goes. Okay, Hellfire is fine. Shadow Flame's fine.
I got this.
We'll just go ahead and put this on here. And we got board control. Cool. So there's our Deathy.
I have no time for games.
And I don't have a appropriate silence for that. Oh, he thought stole my Sylvanas from before. Okay. Hi, Ice Cream. I have heard about a cool game called Scrolls. It's pretty good. I like it.
So many possibilities.
Ah, that's funny. All right. Nah, it's all good. Let's see. What do I want to... How do I want to make this happen? So it runs this into this. I could just lose things regardless. But I don't... If I just give a giant, it's going to be bad here. So let's see. Alright. Let's tap. Twilight Drake, not awful. Mountain Giant, not awful. Let's go for face. Not the right play. Yeah, I have a lot of people asking me about Scrolls and what's going on with Scrolls. Like I said before, I've just really got to catch up with the game. It's been a while since I picked it up. Okay, if this is a circle, that's going to be hilarious. Alright. It's a circle where he can... Where actually, really nice play there, stealing the Mountain Giant. Alright, and that's where some players are just better than you. So there we go. Okay, well, there's one. Would have been better practice to do this first. Oh well. Okay, so I got the other Siphon Soul at least for that. Problem is, what's the rest of my play here? Because I'm down to 3 health. So yeah, I played this one. I played this one really, really badly. Oh well. Alright, as I said before, I'm going to switch decks. Yeah, Hearthstone's fun. It's a very different game. I know what you're saying though. It's just one that's a little easier to pop in, play, pop out, something like that. It's just weird in a way. I look at Scrolls, I think about opening it up. It's been a while since I've logged in. Like I said, I've just got to read up on what's going on here. But I'm probably about to drop down to rank 6 because I tend to do very terribly with Paladins, or versus Paladins with this, so we'll see. I really need something I'm probably not going to get. Alright. Well, I mean, any card game is going to have random elements to it. Like right here, this deck has a bunch of innervates, a bunch of wild growths and everything. A lot of taunts, and I got a little bit of it, but I'm going to be a little far behind. There's a lucky top deck, by the way. Yeah. I'm sure Blinky hit Legendary. Blinky also hit like 9 arena wins, like first time he did it, so he is a much better player than me at this game. Much, much better. Alright, so question now is what am I ramping towards? Ancient Allure is pretty good. At this rate, I might as well just cycle, to be honest. And there's another Wild Growth, which means I can Ancient War next turn. I know it's going to get turned into something by an Aldor, what have you, but there you go. At least I have a mana advantage. We'll see where that gets me. Probably not much. Oh, that's a card I haven't seen in very much lately. So this is a hyper-aggressive, who knows what the hell's going on, Paladin. We'll see. Alright, so 6 and 7. Let's play the Ancient War first. Lets me possibly Ancient of Lore next turn. Well, I mean, I would call ranked... Okay, that's a nice silence. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Is he just going to go knock me really hard right here? Now, going for 5 health is probably suicide. Looks like it's going to have to be a Mark of the Wild and then swipe of some kind. Or if I swipe attack... See, swipe just kind of sucks here. And I guess I can do it there. Hit this guy and go. I feel like I should mark. Yeah. Not great, but when you face aggro like this, it's just you get so far behind sometimes. Yeah, the difference, I guess, in terms of RNG between Scrolls and Hearthstone, a lot of it boils down to the fact is that Hearthstone, you get your 30 cards, that's it. Whatever order you get them in is whatever order you get them in. At least in Scrolls, if you cycle through your deck, you're going to get through your deck again. It can lead to some ridiculously long matches, but I mean, what can you do at this rate? Wow, he's going to keep doing damage to me. That sucks. May not have an answer for this. Alright. Rag is not the answer we're looking for. This is the answer we're looking for. So more taunt. If I can just get a taunt to make a difference, that's fine. Yeah, the board actually having 15 hexes and letting you move around your units. It does help to a point. I mean, it's still possible to get outdrawn. It's still possible to get outpositioned, depending on who you're playing, but it's been so long. Okay, so is he going to clear his own board to take this out? No, he's not. I think the word here is that I just top deck something that I can actually use. Okay. Problem being is that that's still a 7 attack minion.
Where shall I strike?
Maybe better to charge here. I mean, it's going to die anyway. He has to do 5 damage to me somehow next turn. Excuse me, he has to do 4 damage to me somehow. So if he true silvers, I think we're going back to rank 6, folks. Yeah, just that's the really funny part about the super hyper aggression here is that you don't always want your multiple wild growths Really, he's just going to go, oh, Divine Favor, look at me, look at all the cards I have. Whatever.
I can see.
Don't give him the satisfaction of giving me the Leroy hug. Yeah, so I'm kind of in an interesting spot right now because, I mean, I used to do really good with this deck. It's kind of stunk since then. I was doing really good with this deck before. Not as great now. I've tried to make some tweaks. I've tried to make some changes. And it could be a little bit back to the drawing board. We'll try it. We'll try and see here. See what goes on. Now, Ice Cream, in terms of what you're saying and what he says, because I don't have chat showing in the video that I'm going to be posting on YouTube, is that he can beat a beginner with a pre-constructed deck if he has the best deck. Not able to do that in Hearthstone. While technically that's true, I would dispute and say that that's not really the best argument to say why Scrolls may or may not be superior to Hearthstone, at least in terms of a game or being beginner-friendly. The issue, thank God for some of these cards, the issue more for me is that in Hearthstone, you can do good with basic cards. You can do good playing free-to-play if you have nice card knowledge and all of that. But the difference is that it's a lot easier to get the top cards in Scrolls because you can actually trade. And trading is a pretty huge deal.
Put this apple on your head.
Alright, so I think I'm just getting steamrolled here today. I don't know what it is. Something about when I play later at night when I'm not able to record. I do so well. Really don't want to Soulfire here. Actually, what I really don't want to do is tap here, but Hellfire is a good card, but we're going to be coining out the Twilight Drake next turn.
Put this apple on your head.
Alright, how do I want to do this? Probably better to Hellfire first. Yeah. That's too nasty of a board. If I wait another turn, this is going to end super badly. So 15 health is not great, but I do have Molten Giants. I mean, you can obviously pay cash to get cards in Hearthstone. In Scrolls, you can build up your collection over time. I think one of the bigger issues, though, is just the current player base and the amount of people that are there. Makes Scrolls maybe a little bit less beginner-friendly, but of course I'm not much of one to talk because I haven't been playing as much lately. Okay, please tell me I can play a card I want to play. Yay! Let's do this. Maybe Giant next turn, maybe something else. I have so many plays. So, Ice Cream, how would you suggest making Scrolls a little more beginner-friendly? And wow, he's actually not buffing the Nerubian Egg. That is such a big surprise. Would really expect him to buff that. Alright. My kingdom for a little more mana. Mana that I just don't have right now. Let's see here. If I giant, I can still possibly stabilize here. But I got a giant first. We're done tapping. So that's a thing. If he can Hellfire all these guys up, it's going to be pretty hilarious. That's not good. Well, I'm glad Scrolls is not out of decline. Would you say it's just kind of leveled out then? Is that kind of fair? Alright, Mortal Coil. Oh, so he's going to just wreck my day a little more. Question is he going to actually let me get some giants on the board? No. Okay, so 6. I can tap down a little bit. It's probably not ideal. I have 2 giants, so I'm definitely going to lose one if I Soulfire. Alright. So it's going to be Watcher Argus. Question is, do I attack any of these? I think it's probably a good idea to attack the Direwolf Alpha, just because I don't want any extra yo-yo buffs right now. So let's go ahead and pick the right card. Watcher, Argus, Soulfire. Wow, didn't get rid of a Molten Giant. That's unusual. It's like almost guaranteed. If you're discarding a card, it's going to be a Molten Giant. But those things are so big. And the thing that always kind of offends me about the Molten Giant is that it's the new version of the Molten Giant. The one that came in with when they updated the models in Molten Core. So if he's going to dump all of this into that Giant, including the charge, I'm going to be pretty happy. I'm pretty happy. Okay. Alright. Now, if I can probably tap once safely. So let's see what I get. Another Mountain Giant. Talking about useless cards here. But since I got both of those out, might as well heal up a little bit. Do a little damage there. And we'll see if he doesn't have some wombo play to take this out and do 14 damage all at once. Well, I'm glad to see that Scrolls is still doing alright. I mean, I still think it's a good game. It's just that for whatever reason I have not really felt that drawn to play it, and since somebody pointed out that I missed lethal a few times ago, I feel like I should probably not miss it this time, but let's go ahead and do this just to make sure. So let's see here, it's 22 health, 16 plus 3 plus 7, yeah. I didn't lose! For once. At least that. So maybe I can get back up to rank 5. Maybe this is how the ship gets turned around. I could just start playing Priest and Beasting with it probably, but I'm just not that not that confident in my ability. And maybe I could be a little more, could use a little more confidence. But hopefully this is not the only thing I'm streaming today. I'm hoping to either stream some more FTL or some Kerbal Space Program later today. Maybe FTL, because I'm kind of between runs right now, and I could use to upload some more of it. Yeah, I guess, but like I was saying with Scrolls, I think there's a lot of good in it. It's just for whatever reason I just don't really feel compelled to play it lately. Whether it's because of taking so long for matches, the fact that, oh god, this is going to be so bad if I don't get anything resembling a key card here in a little bit. Next, I think Next is interesting. I like most of the cards that it introduces, Ice Cream. I think there's some cards that change the dynamic pretty well. Lotheb being one of them. Some of the ones that came out this week are pretty good too. Lotheb being one of those cards that came out this week. And here's another one that's pretty good, Nurabar Weblord, but that's more of an anti-Zoo card. And I'm not playing Zoo, so he's going to be a little upset here in a few. Of course, it does disrupt some of my battle cries, but what can you do? No great reason to Soulfire right now. But yeah, the challenges are interesting. The single-player element's interesting. The heroics are all pretty interesting. This is a token deck, so this is going to get ugly in a second. Alright. I could pay 4 to silence, but wow, this is like the shittiest opening possible. Alright. May just have to YOLO Soulfire here in a minute anyway. Yeah, this is like junked. Well, I can see your perspective of 700 entry, 100 years to develop, 9 hours of PvE. Really small set that won't shake up the meta. I don't think I think it's a matter of quality more than quantity. Because at least from where I've been playing, things have been shaken up pretty decently. I guess I don't have any other plays other than this. Please don't get rid of the Sun Fury Protector. Please don't get rid of the Sun Fury Protector. I can live with that. I mean, 700 gold is... It does take some time to get. That's true. But considering the fact that you don't necessarily have to pay for any of it, instead of making it an in-app purchase. I mean, that's kind of the defense to that a little bit. And I'm probably going to get wrecked in this game anyway. We'll see. Yeah, I love that double standard too, and I've talked about it before and usually get downvoted to hell on Reddit, where Blizzard somehow gets a free pass for putting out things at a glacial pace.
I got this.
And other people not so much. This is not a great Lothab turn. Next turn's a better Lothab turn. Let's see what we draw. Hellfire. That'll be decent against tokens. Because, yeah, Scrolls has a steady development. The problem is that it has a quiet development. And I guess, really in the past year, people have gotten a really, really different perspective on what they think of in terms of beta, what they think of in terms of early access. There's a segment of, like, the Starbound community, which I get a lot of questions, too, about why I don't play Starbound as much lately. That's just really toxic, where people just expected, for some reason, a full release game, and they're calling Chucklefish highway robbers, because they accepted money for something that was in a beta. That was in an early beta, that they were very upfront disclosing that it was a very early beta. And while I don't see that many people paying attention to Scrolls, what most of the commentary I see on Scrolls is, I guess they're going to have to go free to play, or Mojang's just not going to tout it until it's closer to release. I guess the question then is, how close is it to being released? Because it does have a good, interesting dynamic to it. But once again, I can't speak to it too regularly because I'm just behind the curve, as it were. And I really want you to play something big or nasty. It's like not the handlock thing that you're expecting. Okay. Okay, that's a not fantastical mountain giant. Need to save the silence. Healing isn't really in my best interest. Hellfiring is definitely not in my best interest. I guess we're doing this. As much as I don't really want to, because it does put me further out of the range of getting any giants out, I can possibly mountain giant next turn for all my mana. Yeah, that's the funny part about the internet, as I'm sure you've seen, Ice Cream, is that we expect people to be rational and pay attention to what people write and see the big bold print on Starbound. It's like, this is an early version. This is the pre-beta beta. This is going to have bugs. Your characters are going to get wiped. Wait to play this until later. And then people say, I paid my $15. Why'd my character get deleted? Give me my money back. You're expecting rationality when that's not what's gonna. That's not the world we live in. It's a give now kind of place. And Starbound's a lot of fun, and it's actually, Starbound's kind of another game that's like, on the one hand, I also feel kind of behind the curve on it because I haven't been paying attention to it very much. But on the other hand, I'm kind of trying not to pay too much attention to it because actually the last time I played it pretty seriously was before there was like serious introduction of weather effects, which says kind of how long it's been since I played. So I kind of want to go back into it when there's been a lot of changes. It's a good play. Probably saving it for Twilight Drakes that aren't coming. This is such a token deck. Gonna need that Hellfire in a second, but let's see. Or do I tap Lotheb? Or do I Mountain Giant? If I tap Mountain Giant, if I just play the Mountain Giant, that's gonna be a big thing on the board that he has to deal with. So we'll just make it like that. But But yeah, if you look up stuff on Starbound, it's pretty ridiculous what people get into on it, to be honest. Yeah, I played a little bit beyond the first character wipe, and it was still pretty good. Is this going to be a Wrath for 3? No, Power of the Wild. Okay. Well, that is forcing my decisions. Now that's interesting. Now the first question is always, does a coin combo kill me? Second question is, that would be the way to prevent a coin combo from killing me. And I can try and slowly whittle down his forces. I'd really like to taunt here too, but I'm just a little bit short on that. So if I go like this, probably better to silence that. Oh, there we go. And you know what? If he's only dug through 17 of his cards and he has the combo, I don't even remember who had the coin anymore. I'm pretty sure he had the coin. Did he know it? Good for him. He's a winner chicken dinner. Good. We're still in business. Next turn is a Lotheb turn. So Wrath that. I guess he's going to go for face. Or is he just going to do as much damage to this giant as he can? Alright, so a little damage there. He's just going for face. Okay. So I'm assuming from here on out, you just assume he has the combo. I mean, what else can you do at this point? You can play Lotheb and deny the combo for a turn. I guess the question in this regard then is, do I race? And I think the answer is yes, I do. Because if he doesn't clear these and he doesn't taunt, then next turn I can get lethal with Hellfire. And that's where Lotheb kind of screws up Token a little bit, because it really destroys some of the plays that you're hoping to have. And that's why it's a really powerful card. And one nice thing is that, yes, I understand what you're saying, Ice Cream, about Naxxramas not being a ton of content, taking forever to come out, which Blizzard, like I said, they don't get as much of a free pass as they used to, but still, I was on that train once upon a time where World of Warcraft took forever to get expansions and everything. So let's see here. What is he just going to armor up? Okay. In that case, is it better for me just to, let's see here. I got a Faceless, so I can Faceless the taunt. Hellfire is not going to make too big of a difference here. Except that it will let me trade into this, so I can clear his board entirely. So we'll just go ahead and Faceless, copy, Pasta. 3 life left. Yeah, apparently all my talk of other games has kind of bored some people out, but that's okay. Like I said, it's a lot to talk about. And I mean, it's just a card game, so you can talk over it pretty well. Innervate. What has he got? Savage Roar. So he had half the combo this whole time. Well, at least I'm back up to rank 5, and he's going to eat it in the face. Hooray. Yay, back up to rank 5. I don't think I'm going to get much further than 5 this season, but that's okay because I've got to become a better player before I actually can hang my hat on being something like Legendary. And that's where something like Ice Cream, assuming you're the one that's still in here, because I don't actually have the who's in chat list in front of me right now. I mean, you have someone like, there's plenty of people that just have a lot of card game experience and things like that. I'm really kind of late to the party in that regard. So better decision making is still something that I'm trying to do that I'm really surprised I was able to pull out that last win. Just considering how terrible of a start I had, but it's here 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is 2 brutal starts in a row. We'll see how it goes. And it's another token druid. Is this actually the same token that I played before? Nope. Was that person's names? Yeah, that was exciting. I guess the question is, do I coin tap? I think the answer is yes. Just to try and get something. Yeah, more than I'd expect too, to be honest. I went on a pretty heavy win streak with Handlock a few days ago to go from like 7 to 5. And I was pretty close to 4. And then I guess I woke up out of my days of being a good player. There we go. Not going to be able to do that till next turn, but how many cards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, at least I can Mortal Coil here, so that's a plus. He's going to get me closer to giant range, which is a plus. So. Shadow Flame, also good. The problem is that if he gets an early combo here, there's not going to be a lot I can do. But that's kind of how you beat Handlock as Token Druid, is just you out RNG them. Yeah, see, he's going to... Wow, no Innervate Power of the Wild. That's a really big surprise. Okay, so I shouldn't have tapped there. Yay, miscounting cards. That's what I get for not paying attention. Yay. Alright, well, that pretty much means I lost this game. Pretty much. I mean, I still have power overwhelming Shadow Flame, but see, this is why I don't like playing these guys versus Druid. The Giant's a lot better. But yeah, all he has to do is just get a combo out. And there's not going to be much for me to do. Well, I guess that's one thing I can do. I mean, at this rate, there's just... I have no answers. None. Yeah, definitely when I do that. Just concede. Yeah, I probably got time for one more game, and I'm going to pack this up for now and probably play something a little later. Try, like I said, part of it's just trying to get better off camera. On camera, off camera. But the funny thing is that, like, I'm so much better. Yeah, giant taunts. That could have worked, but I'm pretty sure he had the combo. I was just so far behind. And like I said, if I'm just making silly errors like that, I even counted the cards and then tapped anyway. It's probably a sign that I need to step away from a little bit, which is okay, because I got... some other things that I can do regardless. So one more time, can I keep my rank 5 right now? Maybe if I get a decent start here. This is not looking like a decent start. No, it's not. Okay. I guess that's the other thing, is that like when I was on my win streak before, and I know this is what you're talking about in terms of game being so heavy on RNG here, is that I would almost always be able to mulligan into a Twilight Drake and or a Mountain Giant. And that's just not happening nearly as much here. So is this Zoo? It is. So is this a Young Priestess? Yeah. So this is Old Style Zoo, which means I should have kept my Mortal Coil. Or hope for something here. So I am officially in trouble. Tap once. Soulfire. Okay. I mean, it's not like I have any big cards to play.
Put this apple on your head.
Alright. Yeah, it's a really good opening for him. So I guess tap again. Twilight Drake's going to be good, but I need to start killing this aggression right now. So let's see here. Molten Giant is going to be the one that goes away. Soulfire there. Oh, Sylvanas. You know, I don't care as much about Sylvanas in this matchup.
The light protects me.
Well, I mean, that's Hearthstone, isn't it? It's just, you only have 30 cards. So it's not like it's ever that far. mean, what I'd really like is in this matchup is a Hellfire. And what I'd really like in this matchup is a Taunt Maker. And I don't have either right now, so... He's going to be trying to play board control in just a second. If I can make it to turn 6 with the Sunwalker, I'm going to be decent. But it's going to be really tight. But this is an old-style Zoo deck with the Young Priestess. You don't see that as much anymore, so this is a much faster deck than using the new Nax cards. Yeah, so Soulfire on this and then attack into it, yeah. Alright. So still going super aggressive. And I'm 1 mana short of either giant. Okay, well. You know what, since we're going to have to tap anyway, there's a Hellfire. Let's go ahead and heal up. Make him play the board control game a little more. Alright. So down to 15. Soulfire, Hellfire, tap. If I Soulfire, Hellfire, tap, I get a free giant. The problem is that I'm going to lose a giant if I do that. Let's Hellfire. Don't be the Molten Giant. Alright, good. And while I could have tapped, I think the reason I changed my mind was that if he has like a just beast hand here of like, okay, that's decent. This is the Divine Zoo, so it's a little risky playing this Sunwalker here. I don't really have too many options right now. Alright. Do that early. Really need some more taunts here in a minute. Because I'm expecting a Blood Knight. No, no Blood Knight. Okay. Now that's a card you don't see too often. Alright, Ancient Watcher. Not entirely what I need. So... let's see here. If I tap... Siphon Soul is actually pretty nice here. Yeah, let's do that, because that's a heal that gets that bad guy out of there. I'm not wanting for threats right now. And this sets me up for next turn with Leroy and Power Overwhelming. Which maybe I could have played last turn. Yay, there we go! This is why I need to stop. When it's everyone else watching saying, you had Lethal, you had Leroy and Power Overwhelming. Yep. Yep. Fortunately, I'm so far ahead that it doesn't really matter here. Yeah, that's probably a sign that I need to take a little bit of a break. Yeah. Probably a sign that I need to take a break, because this is like the 3rd time streaming I've missed Lethal today, so that's not good. That means that I could be up here instead of down here, but that's why I'm rank 5 and not higher. But yeah, that's going to be it for now. This is Way to Fail with some Hearthstone. Hopefully I can stream some stuff later today. Don't know if it's going to be a Hearthstone or something else. Maybe some FTL. I haven't done that in a little while. But thank you all for sticking around watching. Good to talk with some of y'all. Have a good day. See you all in the future. Probably next season where I will not be this, but maybe next season I can get Legendary. Who knows? But hope you enjoyed it. Take care.